All right, welcome to Final Fantasy VI Revelations Let's Play. My name is Algus. I am a member of Clan FFC, and this is actually my first Let's Play. Final Fantasy Revelations is a ROM hack of Final Fantasy VI. Um, this ROM hack also features references to other Final Fantasy games, including 5, 6, 7. It's riddled with references, and I'm just going to assume through this Let's Play that you guys are familiar, at least with Final Fantasy. Normally, I'm going to be doing this with a group. We're all playing Final Fantasy VI, but today I'm right now catching up to the group, so it's going to be just me. Uses the same Final Fantasy. I tried earlier. This is my first time actually succeeding with the software I'm using. Already you can change a little bit of a difference. I'm not going to read it all out for you. They make mention to the Warriors of Light and Cleft of Dimension themes in other Final Fantasies, Cleft of Dimension being the Void in Final Fantasy V, and also the final dungeon. Yes. In the original Final Fantasy, there was a different sprite for Kafka in the bottom right, but this one he has blue hair, as opposed to his kind of blondish hair. Essentially, it's talking about, there was a battle between good and evil. There's an evil that's been sealed away and remains trapped, but something's about to happen. That's the general gist. This part doesn't seem to be much different from the original Final Fantasy VI. Notice the text changes a little bit. That's probably just due to the hack in general. Essentially, we're here on orders from the Empire just to retrieve this Esper, this magical beast that has been found frozen in ice in the town of Narsha. It's weird to think that this was once considered like a pinnacle of cinematic viewing, considering all the CGI and the videos we have these days. It kind of pales in comparison, but yeah, through that. I was attacked by people. Why am I being attacked? Why am I being attacked by dogs? Looks like in this version you also get the full range of abilities for both Vix and Wedge, and as well as Terra. I'm going to go ahead and use a Bioblast. You can tell this hack is not necessarily the cleanest hack. You can see that Lobo has a huge cancer, or tumor. But I was attacked by people and not by animals, yet I fight animals. That doesn't make much sense to me, but then again, I think that was in the original as well. And over here, you can see the graphics are fine. I guess it's just an instability of the ROM hack. Basically, this particular video is going to go up through till we get Bannon, or well, before we join the returners, and that'll be a while. Sorry for the spoiler, but why do they keep it there? I don't see why. Oh, yeah, they changed the animation for victory to laughing. Apparently, murdering people is very funny in this game. Well, in this case, it's just dogs. Oh, no, now we're actually fighting people. Good to know that, even with the Slay Crown, you know, Terra still has a sense of humor, a very sick sense of humor, but she still has a sense of humor. The animations aren't quite stable. We were supposed to turn like a little purple before they exploded, but that just vanished. If I nitpicked on every animation flaw, I'll probably be here for quite a while. Oh, that is the bright, ugly shade of red. I replaced Heal Beam with Mushroom. Not sure how I feel about that. Spamming Bioblast. I still don't have it fully set up with one person's cheering and others really laughing at it. Again, with the nitpicky thing, I really shouldn't be nitpicky. In a case like this, these particular creatures are, they absorb Bioblast, which is why I'm just going to burn them with fire. I shouldn't say immune, they absorb it. It's a little bit worse than being immune, but... So, and it's Terra with Vix and Wedge. Vix and Wedge are references to Star Wars. I believe they were the two X-Fighters, which went along with Luke Skywalker to destroy the Death Star. I don't think either of them actually survived, but that's where they sort of come from. This is different. I'm going to see what they say if I ask for info on save points. So I'm going to click, hell yeah. And of course, it's the exact same dialogue. That's the question. If Viggs could do, or Vix can do that, Viggs in the Game Boy Advance version. Why doesn't Magitech get like a physical attack? Instead, I'm stuck with just the different magic beams. Just a little thing that kind of makes sense to me. It also mentions when I have a flawless victory when I don't get hit, which is kind of new to me. And I'm fighting the Welk. Essentially, they're talking through the strategy of how to actually beat this monster through use of what their briefing was. The basic strategy is do not attack the shell. The monster will occasionally withdraw the shell throughout the battle. This is actually within the vein of actually a lot of Final Fantasy games. I know of at least, I'm going to say 4 through 7, but there might actually be more which use this same general strategy for first bosses, which is kind of cool. Essentially, I have to sit here and I have to wait for the Welk to feel comfortable enough to get out of the shell, but I'll take a few seconds here. That battle goes a lot faster with everyone using Technus. Now we have finally gotten to the point of our mission where we were supposed to retrieve this Esper. Three go in. How many come out? Only time will tell. Obviously not Wedge. And not Vix. Well, I suppose if they kill the girl, it'll be an end of a game, but this game is not going to end that quickly. What did they do to his sprite? That is the reddest sprite I've ever seen. Terra has now lost her slave crown and is officially free from the imperial control. She also has amnesia. only thing she seems to remember is her name, but we gotta hurry. For those of us who are familiar with this game has an obsession with clocks and elixirs. Always handy to have one of those. I gotta sneak out the back and try to get away from the the neutral town guards of Narsha. I no longer have my Imperial Magic Tech armor, but I still have my magic, which is very useful in this particular area. Right now, you're probably wondering, why did the Empire put a crown on her? Why is she particularly special, and how was she able to defy 50 Magitech armor in under a few minutes? We already know that Magitech armor is very powerful, as evidenced by I used to be doing around 300 damage to these creatures, and now I'm doing around 60 with just my basic magic. Hopefully we will find out the answer. This is about as far as I got with my group that I was playing with. I will be rejoining them. I'm, again, getting to a particular point and then I'm going to stop, but I'm going to be joining them during our next meeting, and I'll have that recorded as well. Should be pretty fun. One thing I'd like to know is, for how long did this happen? This slave crown business. How old was Cheryl when she got the slave crown, and what was her life before? I don't know if this will go through it or not. Yeah, I can't take this game seriously anymore. I don't understand why I'm fighting against toads. I'm just going to put my faith in the game developer and hope he knows what he is doing. But it is kind of funny just smashing toads from Mario. Why? Yeah. Still don't know why they're in a Final Fantasy, but we'll go with it for now. Magic itself is apparently a valued and rare quality that the Empire seems to really want, and of course Terra has this power, but to what extent is it rare? second character. Everyone's favorite thief, Locke. Sorry, treasure hunter, Locke. Locke does not like to deal with trouble, but the old man seems to think that she could be useful. Our goal right now is to, or Locke's goal right now is to catch up to Terra, save her, and take her to the King of Figaro, and convince her to join the Returners. Asher seems to have a knack for domesticating animals. We have reinforcements of our own, Moogles. They don't say much, but no, I don't need it. Walk here. We'll go for a challenging way. Let's see how well just Locke's party will handle. Oh, I hate Blizzard. What? That is terrible. That is a horrible glitch. I'll be fine. Apparently the tonics don't seem to want to work in the off-screen, which makes recovering very difficult. I hope this does not persist just when I start using Cure Magic, because that would make the game a whole lot less playable. A challenge, but not anything great. Of course, this could just mean because of the Moogles, as they are pseudo-character slots. I would experiment by using it on Locke, but Locke is too much. I don't want to risk losing another tonic. Make sure, oh, there's one over there. not risking a potion. Perhaps I may use a little elixir this fight. I don't know. That would be a horrible and gross misuse of. Wasting this on Cuckoo. Again, like a lot of these sprites, the Templar is messed up. Oh. That was uneventful. And I got my potion back. That's always fun. I seem to remember that fight being a lot harder. Locke has a history of making promises, but we'll find that out later. I'm terrible at the spoiler thing. I need to stop doing that. Well, then again, this entire game is kind of a pseudo mix. I mean, the whole introductory sequence was a spoiler for. If you're going to understand any of it, you have to know Final Fantasy V. Going through the classroom, not because I need to learn anything, but because, hey, free items. And a heal. Let's see this. Let's see. Tincture, those pretty much restore your magic points. Monster in the box. And it's just a regular logo. I thought in the original they gave you an item, like an accessory, but I'm not going to complain. Nothing in the bucket. Sleeping bags are always helpful. Was there a secret room, or was that the Final Fantasy V classroom? I think it was the Final Fantasy V classroom with the secret room. To advertise the thief class ability. Although there are a few secret rooms in this game, and I'll probably point out a couple of them. I'm not sure if I know even every one of them, but I definitely know the one in Mount Colt, and I know the one underneath South Figaro that we will get to in a while. Having got everything out of here. my way, thank you. Problem giving NPCs freedom of movement, they make stupid movements. She had the walk through walls cheat. That would end up leading to the scene where you have to protect a much later scene in the game we'll talk about later. Right now we're going through with the old man's plan. We're going all the way to Figaro to meet with the king. We'll steal some tonics here. Let's test this. Yeah, this is going to be a pain. Let's see if she can cast magic. Thank goodness. Okay, so at least her cure spells will still be useful. I just can't use items on myself. Oh god. Oh, at least I can restore my magic. Just had to be sure about that. This is still doable if I have magic. Tonics are a whole lot less worth it for me now. I'm gonna see if other items are affected as well. Like potion. Picking out. I'll test that out right now. Potion still works. Okay. So it's just tonics are worthless. This is Figaro, the technological kingdom. Let's see, turbines and along the stone. Very pretty kingdom. Free stuff. That's always fun. I'm not too worried about magic early in the game. Tinctures are a dime a dozen. Although right now they're kind of expensive, but these are tools for a character we will soon be getting. How soon? You'll find it out soon enough. Okay, that was corny on my part. Forgive me. Notice they've respelling Phoenix Down as Phoenix Down. Yeah. Just a little observation there. Let's meet our king. And it is a womanizer named Edgar. discover that Figaro is currently aligned with the Empire. Tara's right now referencing the fact that she can use magic. I don't think Edgar has a clue at this point that she does magic. Seeing as Tara is an amnesiac, she doesn't get the fact that Edgar is trying to flirt with her, but... Right now, we're just trying to make ourselves at home in Edgar's little house. Kingdom. House. The city of Figaro seems to be just... this is Castle Figaro, I guess I should say. I certainly like to edit sprites at this game. This one looks totally different than what she did. This game still seems to be a just regular Final Fantasy VI, although they've changed some of the dialogue. The description of the hack had other characters from other Final Fantasy games as well, but we haven't met them yet. We're introduced to Sabin through means of, I guess, a flashback, where they're talking about Edgar's father practically dying. We know that Sabin is currently missing. We don't know the circumstances for that yet, but as we keep playing, we will find this out. Should find this out. I don't know if I'm pretty sure the hack probably didn't change that part. There we go. Succession was decided on a coin toss. Yeah, it's a palette swap Kefka. Not sure why Kefka picked him either. He doesn't seem the type of character that I can really take seriously working in my court. It is actually quite a small envoy of just Grease Ben, but we are allies, so there shouldn't be a problem. Although we're an alliance, we're kind of tense alliance. Kefka obviously trying to keep under wraps the girl has magical abilities, but Edgar is playing coy. He's gone. Locke seems to notice that he was a bit crazy too. But it's hard not to notice that. We'll be seeing a lot more of Kefka as this game goes on. Takes his title as treasure hunter very personally. We find out that Edgar is actually with the Returners, but is pretending to be aligned with the Empire. Tara wonders about herself, seeing as she was an Imperial soldier, what she's really doing with the Returners and what she should do next with her life. Our little piece in Figaro is about to come to an end. Figaro is on fire. Our simple-minded soldiers. Fire is very pretty, I understand. Kefka's not going to be taking any of Edgar's shit. So he decides to burn down Figaro in order to try and get Edgar to bring out Tara. Kefka has a very low opinion of Edgar, but we will find out that his opinion is not well founded. from a realistic standpoint, with that castle on Burrows, that's going to be one hell of a mess to actually clean up. And now we're fighting against Magic Deck. See, why couldn't I have gotten Metal Kick? That would have been so awesome. Noise Blaster is how I usually handle this. I go ahead and get this scene out of the way where Terra uses magic for the first time. Edgar, having not seen magic before, freaks out. Terra doesn't like answering too many personal questions. Of course, at this time she still has amnesia, so she has no idea where she really learned magic. Yeah, I've noticed that in a lot of ROMs. Not just this ROM hack, that their heads, the tops of their heads sort of come off during the middle of the text. I never really fully understood that, but yeah, if I just sit here, they'll end up killing themselves. Actually, no, they won't. That's annoying. Wish I could be underleveled for this place anyway. I revived Terra for reasons that... Oh, they don't give experience for that fight? Oh, that was a waste of a Phoenix down. Son of a submariner. That is a classic line from this game. If you play any of the retranslations, it's actually son of a bitch, but... They're right now trying to court Terra in order to join the Returners, but Edgar makes some insensitive comment that he regrets, I believe. Bannon, being the leader of the Returners, is a very knowledgeable person. And now we are making our way to meet Bannon, so... In order to get there, we need to go through South Figaro. This is a fun place. We will be going through this at least 3 times, the course of this game. The first time I'm going through this, I'm not going to take any treasure. The reason for that is, if you ignore the treasure, it becomes stronger. Later on in the game. Of course, that could have also been for the first cave too, if I didn't take those things. I'm not sure. But there's an item in here. If I don't get it now, I can get it later. And it ends up being incredibly powerful and can take out a boss in one hit. So I'm going to do that. I really am not a fan of some of the Hack's animations. The fire does not lacks the depth that it once did, and so do the death animations. But I suppose it's just me being nitpicky. That's right, it's an unnamed find. Kill them with fire. Now just trekking our way to South Figaro. It's generic of the generic monsters. Pretty sure I didn't have to go up stairs. I think upstairs you only need to go. Well, actually, you may. I take that back. Just remembering, well, much later in the game, when we visit this place again, not the next time, but the time after, we need to go in. Yeah, we have to go in. Alright. Well, I am on the other side of the cave. And just below me is South Figaro. Huh. Huh. It would appear as though they replaced Shadow with Cecil. For those of you who have played Final Fantasy IV, Cecil is the main protagonist, Dark Knight, under the Kingdom of Baron. They goes the name of the kingdom. Also captain of the Red Wings. We'll be able to meet him in this cafe. What is with all these people who are color swapped? See that thief in the bottom corner who didn't look like that in the original. When did Cecil get a dog? Maybe they didn't, they just gave him a new sprite. Alright, I'll play you Mario, I'll call you Shadow. Absolutely. The story does not seem to be changed too much. The question is, like, how did Edgar... Well, Edgar's a king, I suppose he has his resources, but... He does know a bit about Shadow. I do wonder what his connection with him is. If any. I don't think table clocks counted for elixirs. No, it's the grandfather clocks that do. Now for probably the part that I've been waiting for. The relics shop. Because I don't know about you, but I really hate walking incredibly slow. Shrimp shoes. Ah, this is so nice. Well then, let's go around checking crates and barrels. I'll also need to buy new equipment in this location. This does have a weapon shop, if I can only remember how to find the weapon shop. Yeah. There we go. Just not get another weapon. That's disappointing. Oh no, I just did not just do that. Tell me I just did not do that. Fudge. I hate this hack. Sorry, it's just... Oh, that is very frustrating. I don't see why equipment... Oh, do that. It's just going to be for magic at this point. Since Terra can't equip weapons, apparently. And the default weapons that she was carrying, she is apparently not supposed to carry. Because the people who... well, it's a glitch with the ROM hack, and that's... it hurts the recommendation process, needless to say. Let's see how Terra does as a brawler. Of course, I'm probably just going to use her for magic anyway. I hope she gets weapons. I hope she gets weapons. First mention of Duncan. But who is Duncan? We know he's a martial arts master. And who are his students? We will find out soon enough. In the meantime, however, we're going to get out of this town for now. Equipped and de-equipped. I don't know, I'm still sour that they automatically unequipped Terra when I used Optimize. Well, that even is a factor, but whatever. These guys. Yes, that's what I wanted to take. These guys have a chance of dropping Mithril Claws, which are a really good weapon for another character we will be getting later. I think it was a part of the steal list as far as things I could steal, but back in when I used to play this all the time, that was one of the things I would do, is I would steal 2 pairs of them and equip the character with the Genji glove. And it was brutal ownage. Essentially, we have now entered a random house. Edgar seems to talk about different facets of the house. His favorite tea, his favorite flowers, his favorite dishes. The main reason I want here is because it's a free inn. I don't think there's anything else I can really investigate. Well, favorite tea, yeah. I'll go ahead and move. We find out from Edgar that Sabin was living there. And now there was an old man. What does he have to say? Oh my, Duncan is dead. Duncan's son Vargas. Alright, so now we're going to try and meet up with Sabin. His master Vargas was apparently slain, and he went to the mountains for some reason. The mountains are Mount Colts, where Duncan used to train his 2 disciples, or his disciples. I don't know how many she mentioned were there. Mount Colts is on our way to the returner base, so we're going to have to pass through that anyway. Let's see if I can fight another one of those monsters and see if I can get a Mithril Claw really quick. The Rhinotaurs. Like Redline's awesome ability I could learn if I had a blue mage. We get one later. Unlock. Let's get on the stealing wagon. What is your class skill? So far, only key item is the pendant. Earlier I had mentioned Vix and Wedge had Magitech, which is with all of its abilities in the original version that they did not have. Magitech, they had a very limited ability selection with Magitech. I had wondered multiple things as to why Terra is the only one in the entire game who, in the old version, could actually have the extended palette set. It either had to do with the reason why she had magic, or the pendant was what the two main theories that I came up with. But I don't believe there is actually an answer for that. So 2 more Rhinotaurs. If I don't get it down, I'm just going to advance. After a while, that's all you can do. It's like, I'm just glad this game isn't like Final Fantasy IV, where in order to get the Basilisk summon or the Imp summon, you have to kill a bunch of Basilisks and Imps. I tried to go for the completionist route, and I was disappointed. I'm wanting to say, like, outside of Baron Castle, Cecil and Kane were about level 40. Like, right at the very beginning of the game before even actually fighting the this monster, and I still never got that Basilisk summon, and I was incredibly frustrated with that. I don't want to be over leveled. Actually, I kind of like being under leveled. It's more of a challenge. Well, let's hope the next one will have. Otherwise, I'm just going to go on. I still can't believe that they would do that with Terra. They would give her a weapon she can't equip in the start, which makes me wonder, can she equip weapons, or if she has a changed equipment set? She does have a changed equipment set. Is it an item like, I don't know, rods maybe? If it's rods, I'm probably going to have to be careful when I'm playing as a Blue Hawk and not use that item for the one-hit boss KO, because that's the first rod in the game and you don't get rods until way later. This is going to be talking about rods. Nothing like free ends. Alright, well, this is going to be my last attempt to get the Mithril Claws. Let's run. If I can find another one of those Minotaurs, I think is what they're called. And I'll give it 2 more fights, hopefully. I'll go in the forest. I think they have an accelerated rate. Algus is... oh, Mount Colt is going to hurt. There we go. You work on stealing, I'll work on killing the forest creatures. Damn it. Looks like there is going to be no extra Mithril Claws. Unless it drops from this fight. The odds were pretty slim anyway. I'll go ahead and heal up after this and hang on. That's a cool ability. I think actually Mega Volt might be the one, not Redline. The blue mages can learn, sorry. Sorry about the delay there, I was distracted. trying to remember if these guys drop anything. I don't think they do. Anything worth value anyway. One of the things I really like about the Game Boy Advance version is the inclusion of a bestiary, because it mentions the item drops. Unfortunately, I'm not playing the Game Boy Advance version with that feature. I'm just playing the Super Nintendo version with this ROM hack. Bandana, that's right. Bandana is an equipable hat for rock. It's better than a plump hat. There's another really good item here. Not stolen, but it's hidden. I think I'm a bit underleveled for this area. But that's okay, the lower the level I am, the more of a challenge it is. I usually tend to grind till like level 9 or so, right before I get here. The problem with grinding too much at this point is you don't get all the status boosts that you can later in the game. So it's best not to level enough to get through, but not get to level 100 right away. Because there are ways you can affect your growth, and you don't have them this early in the game yet. Oh geez, your magic is not doing so good. Well, Elix tonics are useless. And I used that tincture earlier. Fuck. Let's go back and heal. Well, that's magic. We're tender leveled at this point. Taking advantage of my free heal. How many tents did I have? I don't think I had any. I didn't buy them. Yeah, I only had a sleeping bag. Tents, I think, are going to be very critical for me in this walkthrough. And of course, it wouldn't have it on him there either. How saddening. Well, it is frustrating that Terra cannot equip a weapon at this point. And what weapon I did have was unequipped on accident. and can't be re-equipped for some reason. Where is that item store? There it is. It would be on the opposite side of town, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's my luck. Okay, that grandfather clock does not, is the exception for prioritize Terra's magic just for healing. Which means she'll just be fist fighting throughout that entire dungeon. How much do potions cost? I can use them. Of course I could also steal them. I don't remember which monsters drop potions. They don't sell potions. Great. Guess I'll have to steal them. I'm so underleveled for this. Oh, damn it! I meant to hold conserve magic. Let's see how far I can get. Not very. Good for you, Roger. And this has been a succulent Let's Play so far. It seems that all I've been doing is mount cults is fighting and then running away. Taking more advantage of Locke's tools, I guess. Or Edgar's tools, sorry. Let's see what Noise Blaster does for us. sucks that I have so many tonics, but I can't use any of them outside of battle. That's frustrating. See what relics have in the way of actually keeping Terra alive. I don't think she could equip a shield either. I'm doing terribly this run. Position. Try for another Mythical Claw. Edgar of the True Knight, since he seems to last the longest. He's also the highest level. Actually, I don't think any of these will actually give me any stats boosts. It kinda sucks. Just worry about the best stuff and then help. Terra can't equip anything. It's very upsetting. Not a shield, no armor. A shield, not weapon. Enough brooding, anyway. Let's see if we can get out of this room at the very least. We did get out of this room. We're making progress. Started the noise master. That's not gonna help me. Huh, this is working well, much better than I thought. See what they do now. Oh. I have newfound respect for that ability. Obviously, I can't get there yet. Nothing like cheap tactics to win. I did. Don't know how a lot of you Let's Players can actually just keep on rambling. Just not much of a talker, I guess. But yeah, it'll be much better when we get more people in. Let's go ahead and get that item over there. Actually use a tonic, see if it actually works. And what does tonic do? It's for all something. Jeez! No, actually tonics are horrible. That's always fun. You give me an item that'll kill me. What is Guardian? What's it do? Let's see if Terra can equip him. I'm gonna go all the way out. So what use is tonic, have we learned? It's only useful for being sold. That is terrible that they would change a fundamental item in that way, but I don't know, maybe it's a way of challenge. I don't understand. I wonder if I can use it on the enemy. That could be useful. Let's test that. No, I can't. Kill yourself. Kill himself. He'll help me kill him though. battle froze. Oh, there we go. Well, not froze, but I for sure make this interface very clumsy. I'm gonna run away. Let him hurt himself at his own time. The Guardian is a dirk for lock, usually. Right now, I am hoping that I can equip it on Terra, but I doubt it. This game doesn't like Terra having equipment. Time to venture up Mount Colts again. This is turning out to be quite an adventure here. Quite the adventure. At least everyone, well, most everyone got a level from the last venture. Now, not everyone knows this, but there is a secret around here. Not to show off. If I remember correctly, it is a relic. Most people, well, a lot of people don't realize that's a hidden passage. Let's get out of here. I need to heal. Oh, no risk losing lock. Atlas Armament. Even though it's the they have little layering issues. Of course, that could also be due to the hat. I don't know. There's this fight damage. Power 74. What's locks better? 73. I'm gonna equip that relic. You. I realized healing is going to be an issue. I would have kept that tincture. I can use it as a test. Sucks. Tonics kill you in this egg. I wonder whose idea that was. Fundamental healing item, kind of useful. I mean, I understand a challenge, but Is that even in the description? Yeah, recovers 50 HP. Thanks, buddy. This is really not my usual way of playing this game. I tend to be more hands-on when it comes to killing things. But I'm doing I don't feel like grinding today, and as well, a lot of my items seem to be working against me, which is never pleasant. That gives me to a save point. That'll be great. Right now I'm get that noise blaster going. Noise blasting. Do trilliums drop anything? I hope it's a potion. It does. And of course it has the worthless item. The guy who got me started on RPGs used to tell me there was never a practical use for this weapon. You would only be using auto crossbow. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. I'm using fire since I can't use a cure spell at this point. fastest way of killing enemies at this point is to keep them controlled. And hurting themselves. Normally, after a fight, if I ever got hurt, I would spam potions or tonics. Wouldn't mind doing potions either, but no place sells potions at this point. I hope that's okay. And life gives me a challenge, I accept it. Huh. I know I've emulators occasionally have problems, but this is the first time I've ever seen it that. Or I just fade into the background there. Okay, anyway. I'm dreading we get to that one mountain. Well, it's much later in the game. There's an interesting place toward the end of the first part of this game. In regular emulators has major problems. Yeah, there's the layering. There we go. Temporary disable that. You guys can see the much easier watching them kill themselves. How did I use fire? I don't know. This particular area before the boss battle was kind of an endurance stretch, even if I was leveled up normally. I'm curious to see how they changed this boss up ahead, if at all. Ultimately, it doesn't seem like they've changed much, if anything, from the story. Although, apart from that introductory sequence and Terra's flashback having toads. Why toads? I do not know. He is a red man this time. And why he's picking a fight with me, I don't know. I guess it's because I mentioned Sabin. He's also homicidal, very homicidal, this guy is. I did remember that these guys drop potions, which is going to be very useful. And immune to charge is going to be... I'm gonna die here. That's not good. I did not come to this battle prepared. It says own when you die. Alright, this is my second attempt. I'm going to go ahead and try and take out Vargas. Hopefully I don't die this time. In between this and the last, I did do a little bit of grinding. Not much, but let's see if it's enough to take it out. From what I've played so far of this game, well, of this ROM hack anyway, I wouldn't really recommend it. While it's cool that they try and, you know, implement different sprites and such, so far I haven't gone through all of it, but I'm gonna stick with this one, hopefully to the end. I haven't seen anything really worth playing this for. Yeah, we had the sprite swap of Shadow, but we also have not homicidal, poisonous potions, which affect the entire party and just not very pleasant. The optimize feature, Terra's equipped with equipment she's not geared for, apparently, in this hack. And the moment you unequip her of the basic equipment, she can't equip it back, which is, in my opinion, quite a big problem. Because she can't carry a sword or shield, she can just wear her armor. I hope it's just because she's geared now for a different weapon set, but I can't be 100% certain at this point. As far as story, nothing has changed. Um, Except for the whole introductory speech where they talk about the Warriors of Light, the Cleft of Dimension. I'm not fully sure what direction they're going to take with that particular part of the story, whether it's going to be a pure Final Fantasy V reference, or if they're going to try and incorporate any bit of the Japanese Final Fantasy III. Based on the description I read from ROMHacking.net, this added a lot of, changed a bunch of features. A lot of the story has been changed. I don't know. I expect it to follow pretty much the same course as Final Fantasy III, but again, so far I haven't noticed any substantial differences. And I've noticed a few bugs that have made this less than pleasant parts of this game. It has been challenging, that much has been for sure. Then again, I've not been training as much as grinding as much as I should. Usually by this point, even before I get on the mountain, I think my lowest character is level 9. And right now she's level 6. It's a little bit of a challenge, but I like challenging. Not sure why Vargas wants to pick a fight with us, but he does. I'll hold off on that. God, I'll take you into I need to keep her alive since she's going to be my healer in this fight. Of course, it's probably not going to be much of a fight. If I remember correctly, I just defeat the Ipoos and I weaken Vargas. And then other character pops out. I could also spend this trying to get another potion from one of the Ipoos, but I chose against it because these are actually tough enemies and the potion's just not worth it. I don't think Vargas has anything worth stealing, but I'll try. Well, they have to try and figure out what he has. I think it's a relic, if I remember correctly. Oh, and I don't remember correctly. Well then, that was a waste of time. I'm gonna go ahead and kill him. This battle seems a lot longer than it used to be. Oh! Give it up, Vargas. Oh, that's right, I'm not supposed to. Huh. So Vargas killed Bannon. And it looks like Vargas and Sabin were his pupils. Vargas gave in to jealousy. And apparently killed Vargas. Or not Vargas, but yeah, Vargas gave in to jealousy and killed Duncan. Blizzard Fist. Student against student. Right, left, if I remember correctly. I remember the first time I played this game, I had to go fight this boss a couple of times because I could not figure out how Blitz input worked. It's incredibly easy, but yes, our first reunion in years. Sabin prides himself in his body. Sabin likes to help his brother. They have a really close bond. But... now we advance to the returner hideout. And then when they're dead, we'll come in handy. Ah, before I forget, Sabin needs to equip Mithril Claw. He's already so much better than a lot of my party. Sabin is definitely one of the strongest characters in this game. His physical prowess is next to none. Pretty straightforward path here to the returner base. I forget, was there anything further up here? No, it's just a dead end. Not sure what conditions determine when Sabin learns his blitzes either. Which blitzes does he know? Probably, since I'm a low level. Yeah, he doesn't know much. Suplex is a nice one, but that's too much to wish for. And this is where the rest of my group left off, so this is the end of my first Let's Play. When next you hear from me, you'll probably be hearing a lot more voices, and it'll be a lot more conversation happy. Anyways, it is a pleasure to meet you. My name is Algus, and this has been my Let's Play.